Hey guys, okay, so today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Iron Man 3. So, last Monday I went and saw it with one of my best friends, just kind of like a break before finals. I was really tired of studying, and I was like, I have to get out of my room. So my friend was like, why don't we go see Iron Man 3? And I was like, awesome. So, initial thoughts going into this. I was really excited to see Iron Man 3 because Iron Man is probably my second favorite Marvel character. I love Robert Downey Jr.'s take on Iron Man 3. I think he does a great job of doing the character. He's very snarky, but he also portrays the sensitive side of Iron Man really well. So I love the first Iron Man. The second Iron Man, I hated. I was so bored, I turned it off. I was just like, seriously? It was really bad. So I was kind of going into Iron Man 3 with kind of like a, not so much as a hesitation, but I just hoped it would be better than Iron Man 2. So, initial thoughts, I loved it. I loved Iron Man 3. It was so much better. So much better than Iron Man 2. It brought back to what I loved about Iron Man 1. It was more about the snarky and the humor, and more about the storytelling, which I really enjoyed. And another thing I really liked was Iron Man basically went back to his roots about why he wanted to become Iron Man. And this we get a new villain, the Mandarin. So the Mandarin, my initial thoughts about the Mandarin were I was really excited to see how they would portray that. I haven't read the comics, but the Mandarin villain looked cool, looked like interesting. And the way they kind of did it, I was left confused. You know, in the movie, obviously, you know, they portray the Mandarin as some big bad evil villain who killed all these people. Iron Man had to stop the Mandarin, and then we see that, but then later on in the movie, it just didn't really work for me. I was kind of confused. I had to ask my friend to explain, and he was like, "Oh yeah, this is what's supposed to happen." So yeah, I was not a big fan of the Mandarin. I thought it was handled very poorly. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that. I didn't like it. I thought it was silly the way they did it. It didn't really make any sense. It lacked clarity. I would have liked him to either develop it more or choose a different route. So yeah, I was not a big fan of that. That was my only problem. That was my only problem with the movie. The Mandarin villain was confusing. It didn't really make sense. Okay, so back to the positives. I loved Robert Downey Jr. in this film. He was so great. He again went back to the whole snarky sense of Iron Man, the quick jabs, quick cuts of people. Another thing I really liked was Pepper Potts. Now, in the first and second one, she was seen more as like, yeah, she's a smart woman, but she's more as like a damsel in distress. Distress. You know, she like Tony was always there to save her, stuff like that. And so, in this movie, I liked how she took charge. She wasn't just like a damsel in distress. Like she had her own role to play. I really liked it. How she came basically. I mean, obviously, Tony had to save her at some point, but she definitely took more of like an action role. I really liked that. I'm big on female empowerment. I think that females should be strong and not just be like, oh my gosh, someone come and save me. Because to me, that's annoying. We've seen that 1,000 times. I'm ready to see something different. And I love how, like this, Pepper Potts had a role and she took ownership of it, and Gwyneth Paltrow did a great job. Definitely portrayed the fierce side of Pepper and also the smart side of her, but then also portrayed the sensitive side of her. Another thing I really liked, I liked the Iron Patriot. I really liked his part in it. It seemed like he was a part of it, and it wasn't just like a minor character. He was still part of it. Another thing I liked was I loved the action. The action in this movie was so good. I'm a big fan of action movies. I loved the action. It wasn't so much CGI. I mean, yeah, there were some CGI elements in it, but it wasn't like overrun with like CGI. I really liked that. I like actors to do their own stunts, and I noticed that Robert Downey Jr. watching the behind-the-scenes stuff on YouTube is that he and Gwyneth did a lot of their own stunts. I'm a big fan of someone who does own stunts. One, it shows that they're able to take risks. And another thing is, it shows that, like, you want to be in as much of this movie as possible. You're not just going, like, obviously some things are just life threatening that you have to have a stunt double, but for simple things is like falling, or, you know, obviously it can't be too deep, but yeah. I'm a very big fan of people who do their own stunts. Shows that they're really committed. I mean, not the people who don't do their own stunts aren't committed, because obviously, you know, you don't want to die in a movie. But I really liked that. It really showed his. I really liked it. Yeah. Another thing I liked was, in this film we see Tony. It's after the Avengers. It's him dealing with the effects of the Avengers movie. I really liked how it showed his. I would say he probably did have some post-traumatic stress disorder, just because he was the one who got rid of the bomb in Avengers, and he fell back to Earth. I definitely liked his portrayal of it. It wasn't cheesy or like him like passing out. Like, it was actually him really struggling with what had happened in Avengers, and now dealing with the Mandarin. It showed another side of him, and I'm really into that. I like when things are done true, and they're done right, and they're not done cheaply or cheesy. And Tony, Robert Downey Jr. definitely portrayed the side of him struggling great. One last thing I liked was, it wasn't too long. Sometimes when movies get to be like 3-4 hours long, I'm like, okay, I'm bored. Unless it's Harry Potter, then I'm like, awesome, I'm game, because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. But yeah, I like that it wasn't too long. It kept my interest. I was interested to see how he would solve the Mandarin's problems, save Earth. I was really into that. Another thing I liked was, I really liked the kid in this movie. There is a kid in this movie. I really like that aspect. He didn't give in to Tony's sass. He was really into that. He just kind of rolled with it, and I really liked that. Overall, Iron Man 3, this was a great movie. I definitely recommend going to see it. I really enjoyed it. Everyone was great in it. I really enjoyed this movie. So again, comment, like, subscribe. Tumblr, Allison Youth. Yeah, Tumblr, Twitter. Yeah, so again, be looking for more videos, and thank you so much for following. Thanks.